Hi friends, David here from Learn Stage Lighting, and today I'm excited to share with you a new-ish fixture that has really caught our eye recently and caught my eye as a really great fit and a great problem solver that fixes a lot of the problems that modern ellipsoidals has and still comes in at really an amazing value and price point. So let's take a look here at the Chauvet E-2 FC. All right, so I've had this warming up for a few minutes so you can hear the fan noise. Guess what? You probably can't hear anything. To give you a look at this fixture, so this is kind of what I would consider like a ideal replacement for like a Source 4 Junior or a Source 4 running 575 watt bulbs. What it is it's an RGB AL ellipsoidal. Okay, so it's got RGB, amber, and lime. And that's the first interesting thing that sets it apart is this is a fixture that's kind of geared in towards kind of the mid-budget range. Like it's not super inexpensive, but it's a lot less expensive than fixtures that hit the same color quality scores as this one, especially ellipsoidals. That's one of the really cool things about it. First up is, you know, it's a full zooming ellipsoidals. I really like, I have a love-hate relationship with zoom ellipsoidals. Here's why. The love part is that, you know, when we spec this to a stage to someone and it does really well on stages that are that have a throw distance, how far the light throws, of about 10 feet at the minimum to about 25 feet. It can be longer than 25 feet if it doesn't need to be super bright, but that's kind of its sweet spot. And that's a lot of stages, honestly. And what I like about zoom is that you will always make the light the precise size that you need it, right? You will always move that zoom to get it exactly the size you need it, and then bring in the focus to match it up, right? That's the beauty of a zoom fixture. The downside is that when you have a zoom optic, you're never going to be able to optimize for maximum brightness among every part of that zoom path. Meaning that a zoom fixture, say at, like this one goes to 25 degrees, right on the narrow end, okay? If I compared this, if I took the same light engine, engineered a fixture around it, if Chauvet did that, and they might, I don't know, that was a 26 degree. We put them side by side, the 26 degree fixed lens would be brighter every single time. It's just a fact of life. It happens in camera lenses, it happens in light lenses, it just is what it is. Okay, that being said, this fixture has a lot of punch for what it does, and you know, you have a little bit of a compromise by having that zoom in there. You gain the fact that, hey, if I'm in here and I need 30 degrees, that's going to set just the perfect size for my stage, right? If it's at 30 degrees. Well, in a typical lens, I'm going to have 26 and I'm going to have 36. So if I need like 30 or 32, you know, I'm cutting out from the sides a pretty good amount of light that I'm just throwing away, right? So having a zoom, while it's less efficient, it's also not more efficient, but when you set the light to exactly the size you need, you use all of the light in the fixture, right? But what really sets this fixture apart in my mind is the fact that they have designed and ship it with a soft focus filter that you put back in the gobo slot. Now let's talk about this. Okay, so I'm gonna take this guy real quick and I'm gonna dim him down, I think. Well, that's at least doing the individual colors is a little dimmer, a little bit easier to see what's going on. So when I take a zoom fixture, and by the way, this one is kind of a typical zoom fixture. We've got two knobs here. Okay, so our first knob is the zoom, basically the overall size. Okay, and our second knob then is the focus. So I take it, okay, the back knob is the focus. So I take it and I'm gonna focus it up, right? I basically, even when I take it to its softest, I mean, if I take it all the way forward, I just destroy the beam. It's just super dim. But, you know, along the zoom range, various points, I can work at it and I can try to get a really nice soft edge, but I never quite get there. And that is like the biggest issue that I have with ellipsoidals, and why I often dislike using them in designs is on the edge of the light when you're transitioning between two light sources, you're just never going to get it quite soft enough. Diffusion gels that you could put in the gel frame, and one does come in the box with the E-2 FC, they can help, but they cut out a fair amount of light, and I find it's just always just kind of halfway there, right? Because you're so far from the optic source that it just is not as effective as something further back in the light, or something like a different lensing, like a Fresnel type lens, okay? So enter the soft focus filter. I believe that's what they call it. This little guy, just a frost filter, as you can see, that frosts everything. So now when I insert this, let's watch. Let's put it in. Excuse me, I missed the slot. There we go. When I put it in, and then I just close the door, keep it nice backed up to the shutter. Now what we have is at most zoom ranges, pretty much all zoom ranges, we just get a soft edge to the light, and we're able to adjust the focus and get a pretty soft edge that's going to allow you to transition between two light sources, even with shutter cuts, and do so reasonably well. And that's what I really do like about this fixture, is that combination of that soft focus fixture with adjusting the focus is gonna allow you to still get that control, right? So that I say, okay, I need to cut this off this truss right here. I grab my top shutter, because that's how ellipsoidals work, they're opposite, and I cut it off that truss. It cuts off cleanly, but I can still get a softness to the edge of the beam if I leave it open that allows me to have a really great transition between different fixtures. And so that, for me, is what really caught my attention with the E-2 FC. It's like, it kind of does all the things for a mid-sized stage, again, about a 10 to 25 foot or 30 foot throw at the max if you don't need a ton of light. It's got all the features. It zooms so you can do different sizes. It's got the nice soft focus filter included to make it easier to transition between your zones on stage. It has itself, this focus mode that you can press to just be able to get some light. You can go to your virtual color wheel, dial in your exact color temperature, which can be really nice, or individual colors, right? And so I can just, adjust my color temperature, get it to exactly what I want while I'm focusing. Of course, all the color temperatures you can get to via DMX, but it offers a really high color quality in a compact, lightweight package that's not expensive, that is also quiet. And honestly, finding all of those things together in just one fixture is actually really difficult. And I would say that the E-2 FC, when I look at all the fixtures I know, pay attention to the market and everything out there, I think it's kind of unmatched, honestly, to everything else out there, because it just hits everything just a little bit better than everything else, and is a really great bang for your buck. So if you watch this, if you're thinking about replacing front lighting on your stage, and maybe you use older ellipsoidals, Source 4s with 575, Source 4 Juniors, even PARs, this fixture, the E-2 FC from Chauvet Professional, is really worth taking a look at. If you need help with that, we invite you to email us, gear@oranstagelighting.com, or fill out our contact form. What we'll do is we'll look at your space and we'll make recommendations. We'll say, you know what, this is a great fixture for you, or maybe you need something else. Okay, we love to help people explore and find exactly what they need, and then get them a quote on their package to be able to know exactly what it's going to cost, so that you can make some great lighting for whatever organization you work with. If that sounds good to you, then thank you so much for watching. Please do email us. We love to help people. We love to help match people up, quote stuff out, and figure out exactly what would be best for your space. Maybe it's this fixture, maybe it's something else. But whatever it is, we'd love to help. So help us out by reaching out, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Thanks.